got the love, she coming through tonight. I thought I fuck no move to fly. Let's put our differences to the side. Let's go. You need a nigga like me, don't hide. I got the love, she coming through tonight. I thought I fuck no move to fly. Let's put our differences to the side. To the side. I risked you up, don't you lie. I'm not a hustler, I'm out the way. I'm out the way. No bitch, you don't even.
Good afternoon, beautiful thugs and humans. I am Mrs. Best. Welcome to my channel. I'm not feeling well, so I am in the bed. I am fully in the bed. Y'all can't see it because I have the little virtual background, but believe it or not, a thug is in the bed. Let's see, let's give you a little peepsies. That is. Anywho, welcome to the channel. We're here to go over the family Chantel. I was supposed to do this a few days ago, but I've not been feeling well all week, and then I've had work, and then I've had other things. So we're here now. Better late than never, right? So we're gonna jump right into the episode. There's not much to happen. This is the series finale, so this is the ending. There will not be any more family Chantel, no more Pedro, no more Pedro, no more family. But we see that we're going to get Chantel on, I guess they're calling it 90 Day The Single Life. And they're going to have some people from 90 Day Fiance whose relationships failed. And now, instead of figuring themselves out as they should, I guess they're going to go on a dating show. So, okay, TLC. And I will be recapping that when it premieres in January. So as for this episode, season 5, episode 6, only 6 episodes. Parting is such a sweet sorrow. I don't know. I feel like this, whoever didn't see this divorce, this breakup, the demise of this love, whoever didn't see this coming is living in a world of delusions. I will say that. These people have been arguing since 90 Day Fiance. They've never gotten along. The families, it's just been a disaster. And I don't get that. I don't get dating somebody who you can't communicate with. I know that with technology, it is possible, but I don't understand dating someone that you can't communicate with. I'm not saying don't date someone just because they speak a different language, but odd. Anywho, so we see Chantel packing her bags because Pedro's family, well, Lydia and Nicole, they messy asses done sent the voodoo box, brujeria, as they call it in the Dominican Republic, which is witchcraft, if you translate it. So they get the witchcraft, and Chantel is upset. I rebuke them doing this to my family. She said, I'm going to go to the Dominican Republic, and I'm going to command Pedro and his family to leave me alone. I'm like, girl, you go command. People don't like when, you come to them with commandments and things. So I don't know. Her family's hella dramatic. Sometimes I'm like, do they act like this for TV? Or are they really kooky? Because everybody has their kooky, family members. I might be the kooky family member. I just thought about that. Anywho, so Chantel says that this is the only way that she can move on. She feels like she has to confront Pedro, and this is how that she will be able to get closure. Seeking closure is something that'll keep you from closure, in my opinion. I just feel like there's things and situations in life that we're not always going to be able to get closure on. And we have to find a way to cope with that, or else we're going to be shackled by the shit for our whole lives. So, I get where she's coming from, though. Divorce is hard. So her brother River, who we basically watched grow up, gain weight, get buff, fall in love, all that. River comes, and he is going to support his sister by going with her, to the Dominican Republic. So the next thing we see on this episode, y'all, is Chantel calling Pedro the next morning to tell him, she said, I command you to leave me and my family alone. And Pedro wants to stop being investigated by the private investigator. Here's the thing I noticed. They're talking about what each other's families did to each other and all of that. Both of your families did stuff without your consent. And this is the problem in their marriage and why they're not together any longer. This is exactly why. They allow their families to get in the middle of their relationship and all of that stuff. And that's just not, you shouldn't do that. You absolutely should not do that. So I could definitely understand, the frustration, but neither of their families respected their relationship. I had someone comment that to me on Facebook. As a heads up to those who watch on Facebook, you can find all of the lives that are no longer on Facebook on YouTube. That is where all of my videos stay permanently. So jumping back, and they don't always look like this. I am under the weather, not been feeling well all week, so I am in the bed. But I was like, I'd rather go live from the bed, just rip the bonnet off, than to go and do it up and not feeling well and all of that, or to not have it at all, right? Um, anywho, she commands Pedro to meet with her and says that he has a demon in him, and he agrees to meet. And he has concerns about meeting and thinks she's there to fight. I really don't think Chantel is there to fight. If you look at it, Chantel has attempted with his family time and time again, and so has her family. His family are the ones that take it to a point where it becomes violent. That's who's doing it. So I don't understand why he always likes to say, don't come to fight, don't come to do this, don't come to do that. Pedro, it's your family you need to be telling that. So he goes to see his family, and we see that Nicole's nasty ass is in a mask. And she said it's because of teeth surgery. And I'm just like, honey, realize this. Nicole, mask or no mask, you're ugly, not because of your looks, because of how you act on the inside. Like, she's just not a good person, in my opinion. So she says she's insecure about it. Whatever the hell. I say give her hell. I can't stand her. So Pedro says he does understand why his family sent the package, but he's upset because he says his family knows that could put him at risk. He really believes in his heart of hearts that these people want him to be put out of the country. And I'm just kind of like, really, Pedro? Like, if that girl loved you and did all that to get you here, she's not just going to put you out. But I could understand the concern. And it's like, I've said this before. Immigration, ICE, whatever the hell you call them, they're assholes, yes. But I think everyone in government works for government, even at the tier of the DMV are assholes personally, but that's just me. But I just personally feel as though you've come to this country, even though you did it in a shady way, you're already here, you're paying taxes, you're a contributing member to society. So I don't feel like they're going to just rip your citizenship away from you because of a bad divorce. Most divorces are not the best because, you're separating. It's way more than just a breakup. So there is that. But Nicole says it's crazy that Chantel has come back to the Dominican Republic. I'm like, girl, be quiet. What's crazier is you sending a fucking voodoo package across the world to go through customs to get to this bitch. That doesn't make any sense. So, they're living in their delusions. Be sure if you're watching to give a like to the video or comment your opinions. If you don't like the video, so we can know how to improve. I'm all sniffly. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm really not feeling good. Anywho, we see Chantel getting ready to meet with Pedro, and Mama Karen calls, and y'all know Chantel's mom is crazy. She's crazy. She's genuinely crazy. And, she calls Pedro's family, though. That's the kicker. She's not calling Chantel. She calls Pedro's family. And, she talks to them about the voodoo and lets them know. She's like, I've burned it. I've burned it. You will not get my family. And, they're just like laughing and all of that. And I'm like, they're really enjoying this. And it's not, if it is for TV, it's too much. If it's not for TV, then it's not funny. It's kind of like, what the hell? If that makes sense. Anywho, moving it along. After Karen calls the family, we then see Chantel go to where she and Pedro basically not even first, like I watched them on 90 Day Fiance till they got their spinoff. Every time they go to the DR, this is a location we always see. So I'm sure it brought her a lot of nostalgia, memories, things of that nature. But quickly, just as soon as I thought, oh, these people are going to, act human and show some emotion about the end of their marriage. That's a sad thing. This heifer pulls out holy water and sage and starts praying in Spanish. I said, I just cannot. She says if things do go left, though, she's ready to fight. And I think after all these years, Chantel, swing. Go ahead, girl. So the family meets, right? And Chantel basically explains how she was treated when they first met. This family has never treated her well. She says, explains how you guys call me ugly and all of these things. And then they deny it. And they say she needs to woman up and take responsibility. But for what? She's responded and retaliated to your actions. Are you going to take responsibility for that, Lydia? Nicole? No? So she then confronts Pedro on what the private investigator found, which we saw her go up to his job when they were at the bar, and she went off and thinking that, they were messing around with Pedro because she kept finding little stuff from his coworker, which is not appropriate. And he still insists he didn't cheat, but then she says the PI found that you did. And this is the first time like that Pedro looked at her. He said, hey, Chantel, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I promise you, I did not cheat on you. I'm like, I don't believe him. I don't. And I know some people do, and I'm not saying we should down Pedro, but I really don't believe him. I cannot believe him, not even a little bit. He looked like someone who's guilty and feels bad for what they've done, in my personal opinion. That's just my personal um apologies. Anywho, uh they continue the conversation and he says he never slept with anyone. And then Karema comes up and he says, no, I didn't do anything with her. But this is what I mean. I don't think he realized when he met with Karema that it could upset Chantel to the extent that it upset her. And I think he's learning from that basically the hard way. So she says to him, she basically let all the shit out. She says to him that he only stayed with her for the money. And he says, no, I promise you, I was in love with you. And he says it in the confessionals. He maintains that, but I can't trust Pedro's because of his family. Like, he hasn't really checked them in the way that's appropriate until he found out about his dad and all of that. And he had a little issue with his mom. Then he held his ground, but he never defended his family for his wife. My husband is not perfect either. No person is perfect, but I feel like he would defend me if someone in his family was trying to talk crazy about or to me. I feel like he would. So luckily we don't really have those problems, but I know some people struggle with that. And I feel like your spouse should always defend you publicly. You could check each other, but do that privately. Anyhow, so here's where we get some type of what I think is some type of breakthrough. Pedro does admit to being an awful husband. And peep game, y'all, that's where Lydia and Nicole got silent. They had something to say, but I think when they saw that she was actually hurt and when they started hearing some of the shit that she went through as women, even if it's your worst enemy, you understand what it feels like to be wronged, not chosen, or treated less than sometimes, especially for those who have dated or, things of that nature. And I feel like looking at Nicole and Lydia, it seemed like it was the first time they genuinely felt a little bit of empathy. I think these families meddled because they're close knit and messy, and I think a lot of it was for the camera, but I think they all have a fear of losing each other. That's just my personal thing. But I don't think even though Pedro's mom and sister are horrible people, I don't think that they would fully want the marriage to fail just off the strength of the love they have for their brother, if that makes sense. Hopefully I'm making sense. Comment if you get what I'm saying, or comment if you feel opposite. I want to hear y'all opinions. I'm very responsive. So moving it along, this conversation was just highly emotional. This conversation was most of the doggone episode. And he apologizes to her for being a bad husband. And she says she's not accepting his apology, and that it was empty words and that the proposal was not for love. And then she brings up someone else writing a proposal. But before we get into that, she said that she's not accepting the apology and that it's empty words. And I know some people are like, come on, Chantel. Just because someone finally gives you the apology you feel or that you may deserve, does not mean that it's going to hit the same if they give it to you at a time where you didn't need it. You can't allow somebody to just be hurt and have pain and you just sit there and let them be in pain. And then when you finally decide to apologize, for them to just accept it and it bring peace. No, we have to be authentic and sincere in our apologies, but we have to be able to give that to people at the times that they need it sometimes. And it's not always possible, but that is likely why she did not forgive or accept his apology. She's just in a place of hurt right now, I think. And mind you, we have to remember, sorry, y'all, I don't feel good. She did not file for divorce. He did. She wanted to fight for her marriage. It seems to really be impacting her and have been a part of her life plan. And he seems hurt too. I think Pedro did love Chantel. I really do. But I think that in the beginning, he more so just loved the idea of what she could do for him and how she looked, the aesthetics versus what was actually inside. So, River, basically, she feels preyed on, and she brings up Obed, and it's unfortunate because the family actually looked like they felt bad, and then Chantel ended up walking off. She got the hell out of Dodge. And I think that was the right thing to do, because when you get to a certain point emotionally, it's best to walk away. You don't know what you're going to do. You don't know how they're going to act, especially when you're in a foreign country. That's like not the place to like start shit with your spouse in a foreign country. That's not the time to do that. Anywho, River tries to talk to the family, and Pedro has nothing to say to River. And that's why I don't think he's fully genuine, because you and River was just cool. River has nothing to do with his family. Neither does Royal, the other son. Like, these people have, even though they step in, it's mostly Karen and Thomas more so. But River ain't really in it like that. So he was like, all right, you don't got to talk to me. And he goes and checks on his sister. And then Pedro, he looks sad when Chantel's walking away from him, I think because he knows this is going to be the last time that they may see each other. And that's devastating. That's devastating. That's absolutely devastating. It really is. So I don't know. He says he wishes her the best, and that's pretty much where the episode ends. I am aware that TLC had some sad fucking, it was sad, at least for me, because I watched them on 90 Day Fiance, and I'm like, maybe I'll recap 90 Day Fiance. They have so many like spinoffs, though. I don't know where to start with that. It's one of those shows where it's like, I don't want to take notes. I just want to enjoy watching it. But I will be recapping 90 Day, The Single Life, which Chantel will be a part of. And it does premiere next year, but also next month, January. So I appreciate everybody who has tuned in to the recaps for the family Chantel. My views have done extremely well, especially being a new channel. The channel's only about 6 months old. So I really appreciate everybody who has tuned in, watched, subscribed, even if you haven't liked or finished the video thoroughly. I appreciate you for tuning in, because by you clicking the video, it helps to put me into the algorithm, and it helps to build the platform naturally and sustainably. So I appreciate all of you guys. I also hope for those who only watch my family Chantel recaps, because this is a series finale. So that means that the show will not be coming back, meaning I will not be recapping it. So I hope that those who are here watching this show, I hope you have a good holiday, Christmas. I hope you come back to the channel. For those who watch other recaps, or for those interested in what other recaps we have on the channel, feel free to go to my channel page profile on YouTube, and you can see that. It is right above me in my background. That is how you get there, for those who aren't familiar with how to do so. And check it out. Check out our playlist. I have playlists of every single show that we cover, and the shows are also, there's some extra shows in the miscellaneous playlist, which is where you'll find the Family Chantel recaps. So with that being said, I appreciate you all. You can catch me today on the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel. We will be recapping The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and looking at some reunion looks. So that should be fun. And then we will also later this evening be back on my channel, because we will be recapping The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Basketball Wives LA, as well as Basketball Wives Orlando. So I hope you guys all have the best night. But before we go, what we're going to do is get over to YouTube. And we are going to listen to Oh So Best new video. Or not new video, new song. He had a song that just recently dropped on December 13th. So that was yesterday. And the title of that song is Know the Rest. It is available to stream and listen to and purchase if you're on iTunes, but it is available on all platforms and online radios. I hope that you guys enjoy it as much as I do. So now we leave you with Oh So Best, who also opened the theme song, and adios.
You don't even know the rest.
Зачекай, ти насправді сплес мені.
Niggas crying over bro, my chest just sad. I don't need to know the rest, cause I'm getting to that paper, I'm getting to that bag. And you don't even, like I hit up, but I'm home cause I shine brighter. I'm like clock on the move, I put all nighters. If she wanna love me, then I won't fight her. Give her the stick, come back till I ignite her. Real sinner and that best money big bro. Honey still had a mama house, like I said, big bro. Keep it lighter to yourself, me is so fire. I'm whatever you're passionate and desire. Cause I'm getting to that moolah, I'm getting to that bag. You don't even know the rest. Cause the ski down souls with a boy moving bad. You don't even know the rest. Niggas crying over Pella on my chest, just sad. I don't even know the rest. Cause I'm getting to that paper, I'm getting to that bag. You don't even know about you. Watching in for the whole verse, it feels so immaculate. My pops for the pip, kept the strong and the snack. I don't need to go that route, got the gift of gas. To take your girl till you wanna be my ass. If you didn't know the rest, just try the rest, telling you the whole recipe. Are you running that die over that pearl over the shake? Take your time, think about it, don't start the trip. Cause I'm getting to that moolah, I'm getting to that bag. You don't even know the rest. Cause the ski down souls with a boy moving bad. You don't even know the rest. Niggas crying over Pella on my chest, just sad. I don't even know the rest. Cause I'm getting to that paper, I'm getting to that bag. You don't even know.